I'm going to show you how to put hardware on drawer faces. And you're going to use your own scrap wood in your own shop with tools that you probably already have. And also, I'm going to show you how to prevent something from going wrong that no one's really telling you about, but I'm going to tell you right here. So follow along and let me show you how it's done. This is everything that you're going to need. Let me go over these real quick. 3 pieces of scrap. The first piece is going to be the thickness of whatever you made your drawers out of. So most drawers are 1/2-inch drawers. This is going to be the thickness of your drawer face. And this piece is going to be 3/4-inch ply. The width of this is going to be more than half the height of your tallest drawer. We'll get to these later. You're going to need your hardware, of course, a pencil, combination square, painter's tape, something to measure with, and an extra piece of scrap, a drill with the appropriate drill bit, a brad nailer or something to secure. There's other options as well. 2 6-inch clamps, or you can go 12-inch. 2 deep throat clamps, and you only need these if you have deep drawers. Otherwise, you can just stay with these kind of clamps, but we're going to use both. Also, the appropriate screw that goes with your hardware. This is 1.5 inches because I have a 3/4-inch drawer face and a 1/2-inch drawer, so 1.5 inches is what we need. Let's start off by making the jig. Take your first piece, the 3/4-inch piece, make sure it's all flush with the edges. And we're just going to tack this in place with the brad nailer. Then you're going to take your 1/2-inch piece and do the same thing. You're probably wondering, well, how wide do I make these pieces? You just want them wide enough so this piece can easily clip on the front of your drawer face. The thickness may vary from drawer to drawer, so make sure it can hang on the most shallow drawer from here to here. Next, with this jig, we're going to find the center point, and honestly, it doesn't even have to be the exact center. It just has to be somewhere in the ballpark. So if we measure here, this is almost 20 inches. We'll go 10. We'll go a little less than that. So that puts us at about right there. With our combination square, I'm going to draw a line. And I would even transfer that line to the underside. I need to find center on this drawer face. We're going to start with the big one at the bottom, but we don't need to have it inside the cabinet. Let's make this easy on ourselves and remove it. I just want to find about where center is. So this is just over 23 inches long. Half of 23 is 11.5. So we're going to go 11.5. Now we need to find the exact center. So this is just over 23 inches. So we're just going to go with 24 divided by 2 is 12. That brings us to right there. And we'll flip it around this way and go 12 in the opposite, right there. Do halfway in between these two, right there. Now that we have our center mark, we're going to make a line all the way up. So we're basically going to make a line so it hits somewhere in between here at the halfway point. And then just find center from here to here. And I'm not going to go through all the details, but just find center of your board, and that's where we can work from there. So we have our center mark, and we need to know what the distance from here to here is. And for me, it is 5 3/8. So that's good to know. So we're going to take our jig, and we're going to hook it to the top, press all the way down, and you want to line up these lines that you made. So they're flush or plumb or dead on with each other. So now this point to the center of this will be 5 3/8. So we just simply measure this. That's going to give us 3 3/8. So we'll just add 2 inches to here. And that gives us center. Now with our center point here, just take any tool that's going to draw you a square straight line. Take your hardware so you know where the center point is. We just need to find the distance from here to here and here to here, and I'll let you do that on your own, but basically just measure center to center, divide in half, mark here, mark there. Now we're going to drill our pilot holes. You can use a drill. If you have a drill press, use your drill press, and that can ensure that it's super straight, but a drill will do. We don't have to have this sitting up like this. It's actually probably be easier now if we just put it back inside. But before we do that, I'm going to take a piece of tape and put it right across that line where the holes are going to drill into. And that's just going to help get cleaner holes when we drill in. Not a necessary step, but it is a pretty good one. So let's put this back inside. Now this is a crucial step. We're going to take this and just hang it right here. But if we just drill into these holes, what's going to happen is this on the inside of your drawer. And to prevent that, that's why we have this backer piece. So we're going to put this right here. But first we're going to make sure we get this in the perfect spot. So you're going to line up this line with the line that we drew so we know it's perfectly centered. Now this is where our C-clamps are going to come in handy. So we're going to secure this, and this is just big enough. We're going to secure this right behind it. We're going to give it a nice squeeze. You want it nice and snug. And then drill your holes. Let's check it out and see how we did. Here we go. Those holes look really good on the outside. Let's check the inside. Oh yeah, those are beautiful. With that same jig and that same process, I'm gonna go ahead and do these other 3 bottom drawers, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do to that jig so that we can do these other size drawers. Just like that, the rest are done. All I had to do was take this jig, hook it onto the front of the drawer face. As long as I could find that center line to line this up with, just drill the holes and that's all you gotta do. Now I'm gonna work on these other drawers and show you what we do with this jig. These drawers are a little smaller, but we're gonna hook this on the front just like this. Make sure it's touch and flush here and back here. We need to cut this down to size. We're gonna cut it more than halfway and smaller than the shelf. So probably about right there. That's a good spot. So now we're just gonna do the same thing, but we're dealing with a smaller jig and a smaller drawer. So when moving to the smaller size drawer face, you just cut down your jig. I'm gonna put in the rest of these. It's gonna be really simple now because I have the jig already made. Just gotta make sure I line up that line with the line that I put here on the green tape. I'll then cut it down again and do these last 3, 6, 9, 12 drawers, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like at the very end. Not too shabby. Perfect alignment every time. This miter saw station looks amazing, and I have a video right here that I'm gonna post when it's done. It's not even done yet. I got so much more to do. This jig is free and simple using scrap wood that's already in your shop. Make sure this line is perfectly aligned, make sure it's flush on the sides, and you got it. I'll see you on the next video.